Hi there. Welcome to my short little video on herbs. I'm Mama Mita. We live in a little RV and I have a little garden that's done with cinder blocks, and I have in the cinder blocks I have the herbs growing. So I wanted to show you my little garden. This is one of the little gardens that we made, and it's just using cinder blocks, and we have some tomato plants, some green onions, and you can see that it's just a small little garden that we did around our little RV space. Now I'll walk you over to this other part, and you can see that pretty much that it's just small stuff. Now here is where I'm harvesting my herbs here. I've got some rosemary and some mint that I'm hanging up to dry. This is one way I do my herbs. I have a bigger herbal garden back this way. Now this is where I have all the rosemaries growing, and the thyme, different thymes, and some chives. And it's just a small space, and what I've done is, like in these little blocks, I planted different herbs. And this is the second year, and it's doing pretty good. Okay, now we're going to switch back in to do the herbs. Okay, so now here we are with the herbs and stuff. So what I usually like to do when I'm harvesting them is I cut them, and then I wrap a little rubber band around them, and then I put this little clip and I hang them. And then another way you can do them to dry them is you can lay them out on a paper bag and let them dry. I also have them up here on my windowsill. I have like a little thing that's bendable, very soft and bendable, will not damage them, and I hang them from the window. This is about 3 days and it's already dried. And what I would do with those, because they're very dry and very brittle, I would run those through the coffee grinder, a little small machine that I have that you just would put those in there and grind them up to however you wanted them. I usually have the little grinder out, but because we're getting ready for some repairs, we've moved a lot of things out to get ready to move the RV out, take it down for repairs, so I can't show that today. But anyway, that's how I would do that. Another way also that I dry the herbs is that I dry them with my car. I put them out, lay them out on a dashboard of the car, and within 2 days, 2 to 3 days, according to how hot it is outside, it will just dry them out where they're just very brittle. And what I would do is I would take them and put them like in a bag like this, and put them all in the bag, and then I would tie the bag, and then I would just work the bag, and that will break it all up. And then afterwards I would put it like in a little jar like this, a little fancy jar, or you could put them like in a little plastic container that you might have. And these are the herbs that I have today. So how I would do the infused oil is I would take like the English thyme, and I would put it inside the little jar like that. And you want to make sure that this goes all the way down, okay? And if you wash these herbs, you know, ahead of time, you wash them and you would let them dry out on the paper bag. That's another way to clean them too, to get them bug free. And then you would take the olive oil and you would pour them over, and you would make sure that the herbs were covered, that there would be no herbs sticking out, that they had to be covered, okay? Then you put the lid on it, label it, and then I put it in a little basket like this, and I line them all up, and I go and set them in my car, because I know that it's going to be like an even heat. It's not going to be like too hot. You could also use the microwave a little bit, or the stove a little bit, but a really low fire. You don't want it to go more than 105 on temperature. So, and you would leave it there, you know, for maybe an hour or so, and then take it out and bring it back, and then keep it in a cool area, a cool dark area, so that it doesn't you know, get too much heat. And that's how I would do the herbs. But I would just, like I said, the Greek oregano, I would take it and put it in the jar, and I'd put it down, make sure that it's all submerged in the oil, and then put the lid on it and do that. Okay. Okay, so now this is the mint that is drying on the dashboard. This is 2 days, so it's ready. It's already ready to be crumbled up and put in a little container. I just put these in a little bit ago. This is the rosemary, so I just put them in, and by tomorrow they should look pretty dry, and by 2 days in this type of temperature, they'll be just perfectly fine for putting in, crumbling and putting into the container. With these, I would definitely take and put them in the little coffee grinder and grind them up and make them smaller, and not have to fool with it later when I go to use them for like the chicken or the meat. They're already grinded up, and I would just put them with the oil and the salt and maybe a little bit of lemon or whatever recipe I was doing. That's how I would use those. Okay, so now we're back to the oils. Okay, so now I've got them all in the little jars. This is my English thyme, and you can see that I've got it completely covered with olive oil. And I just got this olive oil from Walmart. It's organic, and you know, I've used it before. There's nothing, you know, I don't find really any difference. I mean, it tastes really good. But okay, getting back to the little jars. So I've got them all labeled, and so what I will do is I'll take this and I'll set it in the floorboard of my van and let it stay all day, and then go out there and it's done. Now, if you want to like take a coffee filter and maybe strain it and then put it back in the jar, then you could do that. I don't. I just leave it like that. Then the other thing, like I had a little bit left over of this mint and then of the basil, and I'm just going to leave it out, and I'll probably use it today for dinner. But the one thing I wanted to talk to you and show you about that is this here. Now, this here is with, it's got a blend of the salt, the rosemary, basil, and the laura. Okay, so look how much I paid for this. But I want you to look at something. This is what's really crazy, is most of that, I don't know if you can see it, is salt. It's salt. They say rock salt. Big deal if it's rock salt. I've got rock salt, and if you want to get really fancy, I could take my rock salt here, and I could grind in the little coffee grinder and make it even, you know, more fine. But you don't have to do that. Anyway, for that much price, and it seems like all you're getting is salt, because when I try to take it out, I'm just getting so much salt in there, and all of that. I could have saved myself. That was a dumb move. I should have never done that. But anyway, it's kind of interesting to look at that and say, oh my gosh, look at all the salt that's in there. Anyway. Okay, well, I guess that's my little video today about herbs. And if you have any questions, you can write that in a comment for me. And if you liked my little video today, it would be nice if you could give me a thumbs up. This is my second video, and I'm kind of nervous and don't know if I'm doing this right, and hoping it's going to come out okay. But these are one of the main things that I like to do, is cook and talk about different things, and herbs is one of my things that I absolutely love. I took a class in La Corner with herbs and how to make these infused oils, and it's really fun. So thank you once again, and have a good day. Bye now.